RIB family. It has taken us a few months to get ourselves together, but we're back and in charge. This is your girl, Queeness.
And here is Gigi, and welcome to 2014, and we're so happy to be back with you. And for the first time, we're also videotaping our session because we think that maybe our RIB family would like to know what Aquinas and I look like. So today, it is Valentine's Day, so we're going to be talking about love. Love or LUV. I love you, girl. So whichever.
Yeah. So, we took a little break. A lot has went on in 2013. We had a lot of deaths. And I think just with the Thanksgiving along with the Christmas time kind of put us in, really sad moods. We didn't really feel like, talking with us. But we just want to thank you for being just so supportive, online on our Facebook and Twitter pages because you've given a lot of support to us. So we just want to say thank you for that.
Yeah, it's been a very trying year. So, but we're back, and we've never ever forgotten about you, family. And we really do thank you for staying in touch and keeping us alive on Facebook and in social media. We really do appreciate that. Still listening to our already previously recorded shows. We love you, family. We love you. So love, LUV and LOVE. We love you, family. So.
Okay. Ay. So we're gonna go into our Just So You Knows. There's a lot of big things coming on in 2014. One, I wish I was in New Orleans for the NBA All-Star weekend.
Oh yeah, that's coming up.
We gotta try to get on that on 2015 in New Orleans, baby, and get myself some poor boys and all that. But anyway.
Yeah, because I tend to go between New Orleans and I think sometimes was it in Texas or California, but
it's not always somewhere where it's hot.
And I don't blame them, given this weather that we are experiencing. Yes, it's been difficult to find a place that hasn't been either frozen over or snowed under in America, but I think New Orleans has kind of escaped that. So
that's true. I'm just so jealous. I'm like, I want hot. I want that hotness.
It's fine. It's fine. We live in Maryland where it is a temperate weather zone, meaning that we experience all 4 phases of the seasons here in the state of Maryland. So now it's just winter. That's all. Yes. But in any event, what you got?
Yes, let's find out what's going on TV. So in 2014, we're having one of my favorite girls, Lisa Bonet. She is coming back to the Sundance Channel, and she's going to be playing, excuse me if I get this wrong, Sky Van Der Ven, a Lenape Native American lawyer who returns to her tribe to advocate for justice following a criminal act against one of the tribe members.
Well, I'm glad she's coming back. I mean, it's amazing that the power of the Cosby Show, that just by being on that show, it has made her a household name, whether or not she's been in front of the camera.
That is true. And I was almost kind of upset when, they gave the reasons why they kind of kicked her off the show, because they saying that she was really trying to be, too rebellious, and the Cosby Show kind of showed this, this is a wholesome image, instead of really embracing it and going, okay, well, you know what? Someone that always has a black swan of the family. How can we show that we're still family one? We're going to love you regardless. Instead, I kind of felt like, oh, you're not with our program, so let's kick you out, instead of saying, let's try to work with this dynamic.
Almost like if we can't be the perfect family, then you're not allowed to be in our family. And I don't know of any family that's perfect.
Exactly. So that's why, they kind of upset me when I looked at the documentary about, Lisa Bonet and how she really got kicked out because you weren't willing to be our good girl.
And she just wanted to live life, based on her own terms and to spread her own wings. And whether you agree with how she spread her wings or not, it was still her spreading her wings. So, and I know that, and not the greatest respect for Mr. Cosby. Let me just say that. He's come back with another show, supposedly. And it was interesting. Yes, at his age,
he is like 75.
We can't even get a show, okay? He's coming back as a super senior citizen with another show.
Wow.
Yes, he is. And they made the comment, basically saying what we're talking about is how he incorporates, his show has to also display the values that are important to him. And, so it's come back again. So we will.
Oh, well, he needs to put Lisa Bonet on that one, too. Because now he can talk about the bad kids that he said the parents are at fault with.
Well.
Dun, bum.
Okay.
Anyway, okay, I'll stop that.
So that's a whole other show about
exactly,
parenting,
I'm going to stop. Also, another show is coming up. The Fine. Lance Gross. Just chocolate all over the place. It's coming on NBC with the new political thriller, called Crisis. And his character protects the president's son.
Oh.
So I was like, ooh. Now, unfortunately, during this, I had to learn that, he has a leading lady in his life. But, the thing that saved him was his quote. And he was like, I'm a regular dude. I don't like the numbers game. I'm not into putting notches on my belt. I get one dope chick, and that's all I need.
And that's great. You just have to respect that he is a one-woman man.
Yeah.
And that is awesome. So kudos to you, Mr. Gross. I will be following you just because of that. And, because you have to respect that.
You do. And plus, he was a Howard alumni, so, he's always cool with me.
HBCU.
That's
right.
Okay. DMV area.
Okay. It just popped into my head. Something I heard on the radio this week was talking about, I don't know if it's true or not. I haven't done any research on it, but what's that J.L. Hughley show?
D.L.
Hughley. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I knew that was wrong, family. Was talking about they think that HTC, which is the main chemical found in marijuana, also prevents and or cures AIDS. So I haven't looked.
Okay.
I haven't looked into it, but they were of course having fun with it, talking about it's nothing. Come on, HIV and AIDS is serious talk, but in any event, they were talking. They've been making condoms out of hemp, and there's going to be a lot of things going on. And you have to think that marijuana is a plant. So you can't, you can't disregard anything about its healing properties. So now we talk about, I know in Maryland, for medicinal purposes, for terminal illnesses, for treating if you're going through a nausea, if you sickness, if you're going through chemotherapy.
And online, I even saw how they were saying how they were doing a liquid form that stopped a lot of kids having epileptic seizures.
That's amazing. So I guess what I'm trying to say, family, is that don't look at marijuana as 100% a negative thing, as a drug, because obviously it has some healing properties and that we're beginning to uncover.
Well, my whole thing is, one, it's natural. There's nothing that has to be added to it. There's nothing that has to be manufactured. Cigarettes, alcohol, all of that has to be changed from something. It has to go through a process.
Well, tobacco doesn't. Tobacco's still natural. It's just.
But by the time they put it in cigarettes, and add all the
chemicals, extra chemicals. Yeah, don't add any chemicals to anything. All I'm going to say, we can move on, is that it's going to be big business.
Right.
And if those of you who are have green thumbs, you might want to consider a career change, because here shortly, they're going to be
But they already have schools. So look online, go to Cali for like a year and a half, go to school,
it could be
find
online,
out all these different strains and all these hydro greenhouses
hydroponic ways.
They have all this stuff. So make your money if you already doing it. Get legal with it.
Get legal. It's coming. It's coming to Maryland. It's coming to this area.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was just interesting to say they think it can take care of AIDS. That's some powerful stuff. So anyway, we were just going to talk about love.
Well, that's bad because the DMV area has some of the highest HIV cases. So you're just going to be smelling marijuana all over the place if that's going on. They'd be like, oh no, I'm getting rid of this. Let me just take 2 just in case. You know I slept with that girl last night. Let me just toke up real hard for 2 weeks. Make sure it don't even get in my system real good. You know men be like that.
Yeah,
They don't need to teach them that. Anyway.
Okay. I'm gonna look it up for next week's show. I'm gonna look it up and see what's the science behind that conversation.
Okay, that was interesting. I didn't hear about that. So, to all people that have youth, Steve Harvey is looking for all your little kids. They're saying nominate an aspiring youth for an apprenticeship experience with Steve Harvey plus $5,000 scholarship. Okay. So they're saying go to code.com/pay it forward.
Okay. So, just reading that, I was thinking also, here locally, the Merlin chapter of Black Educator Alliance are also offering scholarships to senior students. So you can get a link through the Baltimore Teachers Union and click on scholarships and apply.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
right.
Go ahead.
So do you know what the ages are for this one? Because I know the age for this one is 16 to 21.
I think that's for high school students.
Okay, so that's about 15
seniors.
to 18.
Yeah, well, high school seniors, I think.
Oh, high school. Okay,
seniors,
17 to 18, and hopefully you're not 21 still.
And I think
high school.
And I think it's for 4 years.
Oh, okay, wonderful.
Okay, all right. Okay, what else you got? I'm looking.
I know. Put me all in charge of it. Act like I can't read.
Let the young take control. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. So, slowly segueing into, our Valentine's Day special, I thought it was interesting in the magazine where they said, ways to put yourself first. Because I think as women, we forget that we're human and that we need to put ourselves first sometimes.
You need to love yourself. I mean, along with just that whole thought of how can you love someone else or someone, how you expect someone to fall in love with you when you don't even love yourself. And take care of yourself first. Right. And we forget that as women. We're so busy doing for everybody else because we have been raised to be caregivers. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we forget that we need to be a caregiver to ourselves.
Yeah.
So
I don't think a lot of men would go with the caregiver part. They're like, you can't find a woman that wants to take care of you. Caregivers, not your mama, okay? not your mama.
Anyway, so how do you put yourself first?
Yeah. Well, one that I saw that I thought was a really good idea was they said, ask an older relative to tell a story about when you were little. They said, you are Black history.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, well, then you want to know something? Oh, you ask me a story. This is my daughter.
Please embarrass me.
Audience.
Please embarrass me on the radio.
No.
Go.
Okay. Well, one of the favorite ones that you remember, we talk about it all the time, is when you were trying to bake a cake for Grandma. Kendra and my mother were just in love with each other. It's just to describe the love. It's just indescribable. They were in love, so she decided she wanted to bake a cake, and so here she is standing on the stove. On a chair, cracking eggs. How many eggs did you crack that fell on the floor that day? I don't know how many you cracked, but it was a cute thing.
It was a lot. And it was a good 3 or 4. And then we were down to the final 2 eggs. And finally, you said, let me just do this part. And then you can stir it. And I was trying to be so careful. Sometimes I realize as kids, it's not like they're trying to make a mess. They really are trying to be careful.
Well,
and you were so patient with me that day, so thank you so much. But I do remember that. I don't know how old I was, but I remember.
We have a picture of you. I have a photograph of you somewhere, your little green, pinafore dress on.
I still remember that.
Standing in the chair, trying to do something for Grandma.
And I'm like, she was diabetic. I should not have been cooking her a cake.
Oh, she didn't care what you did.
Now as being older, I should have been like, let's make a fruit salad, but. As a kid, you always think of what can benefit me and help them. Like,
my gosh.
I baked you a cake. Yes. Now, can I have some?
Yeah.
You already can't have some, so just give me your cake.
But you were a good kid. You danced. I know that conversation we had when you decided that dance was the same time as Sesame Street. Came on Thursday afternoons, and it was the same time as Sesame Street, and you wanted to quit. And my mother said to me, she's not the boss anybody. She doesn't tell you what she wants. No, she's not going to stop dance. Don't let her stop dance. And I thought about it, and I said, that's true. She said, you don't know what's best for you yet. You stayed in dance. You stayed in dance. So, and the rest, of course, got to be history.
Yep.
But you done. You were a good kid. We don't even have any problems with you.
Were.
Yeah. Well, and you're not a kid anymore. You're my child, but you're grown now. And boy, have things changed, family.
Anyway, so let's move on. Another good suggestion they had was to really take charge of what you have to say. They said stop prefacing every comment in a meeting with, "This might sound dumb, but stop it. You have lots of good ideas, so own them. If it's yours, it's your idea." And I know a lot of times I do that because you just scared of what
another
some
way
people might say.
to do that, another effective way to do that in a business meeting or in any type of a group session is to ask a question. Instead of it's an indirect way of putting your ideas on the table, but without intimidating anybody or for you even second guessing your own thoughts. Just like, what about this or what about that, or what do you think would happen if we did it this way, or how do you think this would work? So you put it in the form of a question, and so you're successfully putting your ideas on the table. You're not making any demands, because in any relationship it's still give and take. It's still give and take. If you put it out there, you also have to be accepted the fact that it may be rejected, or it may be accepted, or maybe it's accepted and then modified, because somebody else with their input, they take your idea and they blend it and you get something really great. But I like that. Stop just second guessing yourself and just find put your ideas on the table, because everybody has something different and unique that they bring to the table based on their own personal life experiences. So I like that. Okay.
So the last one I had that I really liked from there was, they said, pretty up your dresser. When you wake up in the morning, you shouldn't have all this confusion on your dresser.
Oh my God.
Get rid of your papers and bills. Put a fabulous photo up in you and a fabulous, what's that called? Frame. They said arrange your perfume bottles. Just make it look pretty and put some flowers up there. So when you wake up and turn around,
Okay.
That's nice.
Okay.
So I was like, wow, I have a long way to go with that.
I like that idea.
But I like that idea. I'll say that.
So when you wake up, your surroundings are
beautiful and pretty.
I like that. Yes. Right. Okay.
So the last thing, and just so you know, because I know we kind of talked about it a long time, but I just feel like this one is a very important subject, that they're really saying women need to come together and fight for the raising of the minimum wage. They said especially for black women. And of course, our main audience is African American women. So, we're just putting out this kind of, what do they call it, clarion call to, find some groups. You can go to civil rights groups, sororities, social groups, church women auxiliaries, and, get together and start fighting for the minimum wage. They said that
to raise the minimum wage, yes.
Yes, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. And they said, like, in 2008, 68.8% of black women went to the polls for Obama. And we were the highest rate than any other ethnic group or gender. So this shows that, we are getting politically involved. And, of course, President Obama tried to get the minimum wage to $9, but the House Speaker shot it down immediately. But
he did do it for federal workers, because he has that authority as their boss.
Yes.
Okay, as the official boss of all federal workers.
Right.
He raised the minimum wage.
Right.
And federal workers make a lot of money anyway, so.
Yeah, they're already making more than a lot of people.
This must be for the people doing contracts with the government, to make sure that no one is working for less than $10 an hour.
Yes.
We need to get on board with this, because we're talking about this growing discrepancy and gap between the haves and the have-nots. And this is part of the conversation. They're making millions and billions, and we're down here working, struggling, trying to make our ends meet. And it's not as if they don't have the money, you know.
You about to poke my eye out.
I'm sorry. It's not that they don't have the money to pay you more. It's just that it's business. You know, we're capitalists in America. That's what we always forget.
Right.
We expect everyone to have a socialist attitude when we're capitalists. So they're gonna try to keep as much of the money that they make as possible.
Right.
They claim it's gonna, you know, it's because the shareholders demand so. Shareholders, people who own stock in the company, you know. But also the basis of capitalism is that there's always a safety net. It's always a safety net there.
And they always want to make sure that they always, and no matter what they do, they want to triple everything. So if something costs them $1, it's going to be 3 times that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Everything is supposed to be triple because they want to make money. And I mean, they were even saying, President Obama, well, if you do this, then I'm going to have to lay off some people because of this, and this.
It's a threat. You have more than enough money that the next 10 generations can't spend it on your family. So how much money do you need? I mean, really.
Yeah.
How can you possibly turn your face constantly away from people that are just struggling to make it meet? Unlike, what was the black guy that ran for the Republican presidency? Talk about if you're poor, it's your own fault.
Richard McCain. No, that was not.
The pizza guy.
Yeah.
Anyway. You know, out of sight, out of mind.
But I know, I'm like, I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But 2/3 of all minimum wage workers are women. That's one problem.
Wow.
A woman working full time, so that's 40 hours a week, at minimum wage earns just $14,500 per year.
Wow.
And then black women account for less than 13% of all workers, but more than 15% of those earning minimum wage. And, you know, as we know, 75% of black kids are in a household of a black woman.
This is headed by a single African American female. So that means, the direct impact is that we're talking about African American children are therefore living in homes where the income does not go over that of a poverty level. So that is a problem.
Yeah, so I just want to talk about it. You know, just I feel like it's something.
Well, it's a current issue. It is.
Yeah.
It's critical. It's a current issue, and I know even our state of Maryland, the governor's trying to raise the minimum wage here in our state. You know, Governor O'Malley. So
the good thing was they said officials in Maryland's Montgomery and Prince George County earn a higher praise for passing bills that is going to increase the minimum wage to $11.50 by 2017.
Okay.
Of course, it's high as crap there, but you know that's something close to us that they just had to raise it.
That's our home area.
Yeah. So that's just so you know. So you kind of went from entertainment all the way down to some serious political issues that affect us as women.
Okay.
Right?
Okay, I like that.
Thank you.
Like that. Stay involved.
You know, you gotta get in where you feel in. You gotta take charge of your own life and take charge of, take care of other women. You know, we're a village. We gotta stick together. Stop tearing each other down.
Okay.
So, Eddie.
Hey, ladies, stand up. It's the year of the woman.